20 years of Impact Harvest Worship.
All right.
We got to go back to the beginning.
Here we
Johnny,
go.
take us through some of the earliest memories you have at Impact worshiping.
It was just the simplest time because it's not about musicianship, it's not about skills. They exemplify just a pure heart of worship. And that kick-started our journey of, hey, we don't need a lot.
Really set the foundation.
Right.
Yeah.
God doesn't require us to have a lot to give to him. He requires all of us right now. The highlight of the beginning stage of Impact worship was 2007. That was a huge highlight. 2007 summer camp called Breakthrough. It was the first time we invited and met Mark and Debbie Hendrickson, and they are just absolutely father and mother for us, for our house. And that night, the last night of that summer camp 2007, marked us, elevated us, that everybody during worship time, nobody really were being taught on or led into a certain way of how you should worship. But I remember Mark was just saying, whoever wants to experience the Holy Spirit, to encounter him, come to the front. Pretty much everybody came. And then the rest was just history. It was a holy mess. You have groups that's crying over there, groups still worshiping over there, and there's a group just start running. And later on you realize those people got healed without nobody laying hands on them. And we as worshipers on stage, we didn't have to do anything. Even holding that one chord, that's enough. Because it's really about seeing God move and letting the Holy Spirit lead our worship. And so our worship is actually a direct response of what heaven is already doing, already pouring out. And so that really marked us, and we ended up carrying that and thankfully having leaders that encourage that, nurture that, exemplify that in Jack and Annie, and willing to give us that space of creativity to fail, even on a Sunday set or even on just a worship meeting.
God really took that foundation of, at the time, a bunch of kids, but he really, I think, took that seed and it started to grow into a lot of the albums. I know there was the Togo album. We have an African album out there. We met a lot of great friends from Kansas City along the way. And pretty soon it was God doing all this. Like he brought forward a Chinese worship team. At one point, I think half of our church was on the worship team, which, I think that embodies, going back to your point about like, we've always been this house of intimacy, of authenticity in our worship. And there's no performance. Everyone is partaking and really being a part of the culture of worship. And that's what really stood out to me when I think about what makes this house so special and so unique.
Right.
I think I speak for everybody who comes through this house. First of all, I think there's this heart of authenticity and there's this heart of intimacy, and I think it's just been so special to be around a family, and I truly mean that in every sense of the word. This place is a family where we've really, we haven't had to be perfect, but we are perfected in the heart of God through the fire that we bring to worship. We started as, as ourselves, youth, students, and now we have families and more responsibility, and God has really blessed us. But what I'm just so touched and moved by is that through all of that, we've chosen to really embrace the call of worship in our lives. So I don't think there's a single member of our team that's paid to be on the worship team. We're all here because we want to be here.
Right.
And that's my prayer going forward, that we continue to remain tenderhearted and to stand in the gap to say, God, I want to worship you, not because I have an instrument in my hand, but because I have this desire in my heart where I want to come before the Lord and say, God, this is my act of worship to you. And so I've just been so touched by how everybody at Impact, everybody on the worship team, they've come forward with, an instrument in one hand and a kid in another, and we've all chosen to say, like, God, I'm going to be here and I'm going to bring everything in my heart, whether it's, my family or my time or whatever talent I have, God, I'm going to bring it forward to you. And so it's been so special, so unique, and I hope that we do that for another 20 years.
Oh yeah, for sure.